this song is setting the stage for what we're about to discuss. Welcome back to Daytime Live. Now, I don't know about you guys, Dejan, breakups can be hard, whether it's romantic or platonic. You know, one minute you're fine, the next minute you're like, ah! Okay. So while some heartbreak is normal, sometimes it hits hard enough to actually affect your mental health. So the question is, when do you stop toughing it out and start actually getting help? We're joined by clinical psychologist at the Bellevue Hospital, Jesutofunmi Simpson. Welcome, my darling.
Hello.
I am so happy that we are having this conversation because I don't know about Adrian, but I know there's been times in my life when I'm like, this is overwhelming. I don't know what tomorrow brings. I don't know, girl.
Yeah.
So when would you say is a time for us to go, you know what, I think this breakup is actually, I think I'm feeling more than just the usual amount of sadness and maybe seek some kind of mental, emotional help?
Well, firstly, thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure.
And great conversation, especially given the love is in the air
right?
that we're in.
Yeah.
As it relates to when to seek help, I think whenever I hear that question, my response or the gut response for me is we tend to treat professional help as a reactive thing instead of a proactive thing. And that's part of why we are in the trouble that we are in as a society. And so I think the same way you go to your doctor for your regular checkup, if you were going to a mental health professional for a regular checkup, you wouldn't need to be planning, oh, I had a breakup, let me go schedule an appointment because this might be too much, because you would have had that line of communication. If my daughter is sick, I just message her pediatrician. I don't necessarily have to take her in because that line of communication has been established. And so I think sometimes we have to get to a more proactive space as it concerns our mental health. But for sure, if you find that you're unable to focus, all you're thinking about is this person and how them left or what them do or what them never do or what you did, if you find that you're not sleeping, you're not eating, you're increasingly anxious, you notice the depressive symptoms in yourself, you're lashing out at people, you're super touchy, irritable, you're aggressive, then those are times that those are signs you can see to say, okay, let me go call somebody, let me go make an appointment somewhere because Can
I just touch on something that you said earlier before Dejan jump in?
Sure.
Are you saying that like mental health checkup is something that you should be doing intermittently, consistently, regardless?
Absolutely.
Oops.
Absolutely, because...
What does that look like, by the way?
Okay.
Does it look like calling a doctor and saying, hey...
So I'll use myself.
Yeah.
So I'm a clinical psychologist.
Right.
When I was training, a part of our program was that we had to go to therapy. What I did was I maintained a relationship with my therapist from the program. And so now, like twice a year, I'll just say, hey, let's talk. And I'd make an appointment, not because I think, oh my gosh, I feel as if I'm losing my... But sometimes it's because I feel like, all right, I'm tired and I don't know what to do and I don't want to. And you just need someone to talk to, because even though I'm a psychologist, I'm still just a girl.
Doctors need doctors.
Doctors need doctors.
All right.
And so that's what it looks like. The same way, what does it look like to make your medical checkup?
Yeah, got it. Nice.
I mean, but breakups are a natural part of life. We get in relationships, and it's not just intimate relationships, friendships. Those are breakups too that can cause you to, what the term they're using now is crashing out. But really and truly, when we were going through that can't eat, can't sleep, because I remember especially back in my first love days when I was a child and I did childish things.
Before you put it away,
Before I put it away. Of course, breaking up with that boyfriend, good feel like I'm
the end of the
world.
Yeah,
but then you cry, you can't eat. But isn't that a natural part of breaking up? Or is there a point of no return where I say, you know what, once I've gotten to this stage, then
it's time to talk.
That's the time to, before I hit the crash out, to get the help. What's the tipping point?
It's hard because, and it's what I love about humans, we're all so vastly and just greatly different that it's hard to say, okay, this is the tipping point, because some people may never even circle that. Right. And so I think it starts from knowing yourself. And so if you have an awareness of who you are and what your regular functioning is, then you can know that, okay, I'm deviating way too much from my norm. So if you're a regular quiet person and you're not easily triggered, and everybody's breathing a little too loudly for you, then you know that, okay, something is wrong. So if you're just crying because this person has left or you had to leave, cry. You're angry, okay, you are sad, you're frustrated, you have regret, you have this, that's fine. But when you start to deviate from what your normal mode of operating is, then that's your signal to get
Well, you
help.
see, what's interesting for me, and forgive me, Jamaica, don't come for me. I'm just saying, I feel like as a society, I think our default mode is aggression. Our default mode is, you know, so something I think that you're saying and not saying, but clearly saying, is that therapy is not just for, or seeking mental help is not just for the breakups or the stuff. Sometimes there's some of us in our lives that are trying to cope with life that you may just need to talk to somebody. And I want to touch on, I know it's a time of love and we're all in love right now, but I remember I had a friendship that was like 20 years in the making. And that relationship, when that relationship ended, a platonic friendship, like that was almost as devastating for me when it ended as others. Can you talk to us a little bit about like the platonic breakup and how persons can deal with that?
20 years is a long time. You were fully in love.
Friendships though, just like my bestie, you know?
Yeah, no, I think sometimes we underestimate the impact that these platonic relationships can have, especially long-term friendships. You know, them people you come from primary school days with. When those relationships end, it can have the same devastating effect that a romantic relationship could have. Think of breakups, whether platonic or romantic, as grief, because that's what it is. It's loss. There's loss of a relationship. And so the same way you would process grief if someone had died, this relationship has, well, died. And so you now have to process that in a very similar way. You're gonna go through all the similar emotions, and this goes for platonic and romantic. And so you have to mourn the fact that, hey, this was my person and I can't really call them, and then something gonna happen, you're like, let me call, and you can't.
Right. So, well, being that we're gonna incorporate, seeking, just doing our regular checkups, our mental health checkups in our every year routine, like our pap smears or mammograms or mental health checks and all of that.
There we go.
If it is that we find ourselves maybe going too close to what our edge is, what are some like skills that we can incorporate? Some, like coping mechanisms, some of the things that we can add to our daily.
Yeah, that is a good question. I am a firm believer in deep breathing.
That's my thing, girl.
Breathe,
That
people.
is me.
As a society, we don't breathe enough.
No.
Like we're walking with our shoulders up here and we're just not breathing. And so we have to learn to take deep breaths. We have to talk to each other. We don't talk enough. We have the most superficial conversations.
But we know when people know our business.
No, but I love that.
Then we're gonna crash out.
Love that you said that, because I do feel like because of brave face and me not weak and strong woman and all that kind of stuff, and man, not just women, that sometimes we have very inauthentic conversations and we're not really honest, and that's when people ask the question, how are you? What's the answer?
I'm fine, all right, man, I'm good.
You're at home, I cried this morning, I cried in the car, I cried, but you're like, fine. Thank you so much for joining us and having such an important conversation. Long may it continue. Valentine is coming. Where is your but thank you so much.
You are welcome.
It was our pleasure, and please come back and keep talking to us about this very important subject. Clinical psychologist at Bellevue Hospital. Jesutofunmi Simpson. Jesutofunmi.
I'm giving her my Spanish. Jesutofunmi.
I was trying. Thank you. Can I call you Yeso? Yes. Sure. Daytime Live. After the break, guys. We'll soon come back.
We go.